dim the memory of the very first win we ever had. It was a county under-16 football final. And Tallow, of course, was supposed to be lads who couldn't play football, but they did. They gave a marvellous display and they well beat Mount Sion in the final, I remember. That was a terribly happy occasion. And the final, just to make it more unique, the final was in Carrick-on-Shore, if you don't mind. But we didn't know mind where it was. If it was Timbuktu, would have been there. And I got a great thrill out of seeing all the kind of work we were trying to do come to fruition on that day. Yes. Well, I felt I could play hurling until I was really old, whereas in football, with the physical content, you couldn't play beyond a certain number of years, beyond the late 30s anyway, I think, profitably. So, anyway, I got a greater thrill out of playing hurling, because there's far more skill. There are 121 skills in hurling, individual skills, I've counted them, and that just shows you what a wide range there is to exhibit when you take a hurley in your hand.
I've heard it described as a beautiful game. Would you agree with that?
I would. Eamon Dunphy wouldn't. He calls soccer the beautiful game, and I'm just as much an admirer of soccer as I am of any other game. But when it comes to hurling, it is skill that really gives the thrill. So the thrill is in the skill, apart from the manliness, of course.
Could you run me through some of your own personal achievements in relation to hurling down through the years, Ned, please?
I'd rather not say much about them because, quite honestly, I think, as I've always thought, the team is more important than any one player, and the place is more important than even one team, any one team. But I would just say this much, that to me it was a great fulfilment when Tallow won the intermediate championship in 1974, which made Tallow a senior team again. That was the culmination of all our strivings. And then, of course, another high point purely must be our senior hurling county title in 1980, followed by one in 84 and 85. They, I suppose, were the golden years here because emigration didn't bite so deeply and lads were around and lads were very good, and we had a great bunch of skillful, very, very skillful players who were acknowledged as the most skilled in the county. I would like to be proud of that because there's something to be proud of, you know.
One of my most abiding memories of hurling, Ned, and particularly in relation to Tallow and you personally, is this famous photograph I see of you coming out, catching a ball with people swinging hurleys all around you. Can you run me through some of the memories of that?
I do. I don't think I'll ever forget that day because that was very special. You see, I had been taken off the Waterford team the previous year in that very self-same pitch before over 50,000 people. And I sat down on the sideline. I was smoking at the time, and I smoked a cigarette and said, "Now, kid, this is what you've been ready for, because it's about to happen someday. Next job, get back on that team. Come back up here if you can, and show what you really can do, if possible." So they had tried a few more foolings out during the year, and they felt that I was the best of a bad lot. So I was selected again the following year, 1962. I remember it very well, 9th of July, and it was Cork, my old adversaries, and Christy Rain, and all the other really great players that they had. So when it came to that particular Sunday, I don't think I was ever so keyed up in all my life because I was ready, and I was nervous, which is a good thing because if you're not, you don't do the job really. I think if you're not wound up like a spring, you won't release the latent energy or whatever it is inside in us. So I remember that day in particular. By the way, could I say about that a lot of people would think that was heroic or some old word like that might possibly be used, but it wasn't. It wasn't really, insofar as the higher up you are catching a ball, the safer you are. The higher up you are, the safer. And if you could jump up high for a ball, even a swinging hurley isn't going to hurt you up there. I have often asked lads to think about that even, that a swinging hurley, you can swing a hurley really hard up high, very high. And I had a good chance to see that ball that day and come out and jump. So I was gone before the other chap's swing came along. Yeah.
We see this morning that you're putting something back into the game, Ned. Is this something you like to do yourself?
Oh gosh, I love it, because when I think of all the pleasure and all the satisfaction and all the honours, if I say so too, though I was very lucky to be with a bunch of lads to win those honours, but when I think of all the joy and all the wonderful satisfaction in hurling, I think it's only the least I could do is to do something for young people now, so they could share that enjoyment. Jab list this morning.